The world is full of theories, big important theories. The Big Bang, evolution, Walt Disney's frozen head. Have you seen that? There's a theory that Walt Disney didn't die, but that his head was cryogenically frozen and will be unfrozen when the cure for cancer is discovered, and that the film Frozen was made to make the theory harder to Google. This obviously isn't true. Walt Disney's dead, he was cremated, and he has a death certificate. And if it was true, it'd just be really funny because it didn't work. If you look up Walt Disney Frozen, the first result after the obligatory AI stuff is about the conspiracy theory. Anyway, there are lots of other Disney theories about the actual films, so today I've chosen 3 of my favourites and I'm going to look at them in detail and determine once and for all whether they're true or false. So here we go! Theory number 1. Wheezy tricked Woody into being sold. Wheezy, the lovable penguin with a broken squeaker from Toy Story 2. Woody rescuing him from the yard sale is the inciting incident which sets the film's plot in motion, because Woody is stolen by one of the film's main antagonists, Al. But did Wheezy actively try to have Woody sold? This theory suggests that Wheezy, tired of being stuck on a shelf and not played with, made no attempt to save himself, knowing that Woody would come to his rescue and hopefully get sold in the process, which would make room for Wheezy to join Andy's playtime. But is it true? We see that toys really value being played with. It's a toy's whole purpose, so being set aside and forgotten is devastating. We see this with Jessie. So it's certainly believable that Wheezy would want something to happen to Woody so that he would be played with. Now, I don't think Wheezy is malicious enough to have planned it, but it may well have been a spur-of-the-moment thing. But there is evidence to the contrary. Wheezy is really friendly. He doesn't seem like the type to arrange for Woody's kidnapping. But then again, looks can be deceiving. And Woody had already been banished to the shelf. He wasn't going to be played with, so why would Wheezy target him? But I think the biggest piece of evidence is his size and general lack of mobility. This theory is mostly based on the fact that Wheezy didn't try to save himself from the yard sale. But I'd say that's a big ask. Look at the size of Wheezy. And now look at the size of the box he's in. His feet are stuck together and his hands, or wings? Hold on. Aw, that's adorable. Where were we? Oh yeah. Wheezy's flippers barely extend past his stomach. He can't even get up when he falls over, and you expect him to climb out of a tall box? And his inability to escape the box doesn't mean he tried to have Woody sold. So, did Wheezy orchestrate the events to get rid of Woody? No. Was he secretly happy that Woody was taken? Maybe. But overall, I'd say this theory is false. Theory number 2. The evil queen is Mother Gothel. There are lots of theories which connect multiple films. I always find them a lot of fun, and this one connects 2 of Disney's princesses. The theory goes that when she fell off the cliff at the end of Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, the evil queen didn't die, and she found the Sundrop flower which granted her eternal youth and beauty. But how plausible is it? Well, firstly, the evil queen seems to have some sort of magical powers. She summons wind and lightning, although Mother Gothel doesn't display any such abilities. Surely she'd use them if she had them. And the 2 stories take place hundreds of years apart, with Snow White estimated to be set somewhere in the 1500s, and Tangled taking place somewhere around the 18th and 19th centuries. Although, the whole point of the Sundrop flower is that it gives you eternal youth. So the fact that they're centuries apart doesn't matter. In fact, the fact that Tangled takes place after Snow White supports the theory. And at the start of Tangled, Flynn notes that centuries pass between Mother Gothel finding the flower and the rest of the film taking place. On top of this, the 2 look very similar, especially in their older forms. Sure, their younger versions are less similar, but I think that's because Mother Gothel's most defining feature is her long wavy hair, and the Evil Queen has her hair covered. But who knows, maybe she has long wavy hair too. On top of this, they both have very similar motivations. They're both obsessed with being young and beautiful, and they both take place in Germany. Well, Snow White does. The only thing we have to go on for Tangled is that the Kingdom of Corona, where the film is set, is inspired by medieval France and Germany. But the original fairy tale takes place in Germany, so it's more than likely that that's where it's set. I think, at least in my headcanon, this theory is absolutely true. There are just too many similarities to be ignored. So if you ask me, this theory is true. Theory number 3. Edna Mode killed Syndrome. At the end of The Incredibles, once the family has stopped Syndrome, this happens. His cape is sucked into a plane engine and he explodes. Mr. Incredible throws a car at him, he gets knocked, his cape gets sucked into the turbine, and there's nothing more to it, right? Well, maybe there is. The Incredibles is popular because, aside from being a legitimately good superhero film, it wasn't afraid to parody superhero archetypes. It makes fun of monologuing villains, it shows superheroes working everyday jobs, and, perhaps most famously, makes fun of capes. Edna Mode, who designed the supersuits for The Incredibles along with countless other superheroes, has a strict rule that she does not put a cape on the suit she makes, noting that capes have caused the deaths of many supers. And here is where the theory comes in. In the list of unfortunate supers, Edna mentions Stratogale, who met a very similar end to Syndrome. The theory goes that Syndrome came to Edna Mode for a new suit, and Edna, sensing his evil intent, put a cape on the suit, knowing it would one day lead to his demise. But does it hold any water? We see Edna do a few unethical things. She hits her staff and she secretly tracks Mr. Incredible. She clearly doesn't mind if her actions aren't entirely morally sound. Although you have to admit, conspiracy to murder is a bit of a step up from this. But she is very clever, and she has a clear sense of good and evil. But I can't really find anything else to back this up. When we first meet her, Edna is retired. Granted, she still makes suits for Mr. Incredible and his family, but they were already close friends. I doubt she'd do the same for a complete stranger like Syndrome. And she's clearly very rich. She doesn't need to take the job, she could just enjoy her retirement. But I think the strongest evidence against this claim is Syndrome's personality. He's vain, he's arrogant, everything he has, he made himself. Would someone like that get someone else to make his supersuit? So while it's a cool theory, and it's fun to think about Edna pulling the strings, I don't think this theory has any truth to it. There are just too many inconsistencies. So I'd say that this theory is false. But what do you think? Do you agree with my rulings? Let me know in the comments below. And if you agree, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you don't agree, well, you can still like and subscribe anyway, I don't mind.